you're not supposed to on a podcast. This is rule number 1. Don't drink anything with ice in it, because it makes all that sloshy, icy noise when you're drinking.
My ice is melted, so I'm okay.
Mm-hmm. Do you have like a morning routine?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Do you want to describe it? Like, I'm curious.
Well, it depends if I'm exercising or not. I'm an exercise in the morning or never person. So before I start my day. So loosely 3 days a week, I will do some light exercise before beginning my daily routine. Call that Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
What is light exercise? Like, because I see a senior with a headband, with like 5-pound weights. Is that what you mean?
Well, no, it's not that light though, but it depends. I hurt my back recently.
Oh,
tweaked it. Not hurt, but tweaked that little. So it's been a light exercise recently just to not push it. But I do a 30-minute, I don't know if you're familiar with the P90X routine or theme or brand. No,
I have never heard of that.
I hadn't either. And during COVID, Maya told me about it.
What is the P, what is the 90, and what is the X? Do you know?
X is extreme.
Of course.
So, the opposite of light.
Right.
I don't know is the answer. I think it's from the original routine was called Power 90. I believe that's the name of it. I'm not 100% sure. But I found these, Maya showed me these during COVID. And it was a great routine, but it was super long. Each routine was like an hour and a half.
That's 90 minutes.
90 minutes.
That's the 90.
There you go. And when the world was stopped, I got 90 minutes, no problem. But now, because it's not 90, it's you warm up, you do it, you cool down, you shower, you eat, and it becomes a lot longer than 90 minutes.
There's the clothes, you got all the changing in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's...
And so then I guess they feedback. They got that, and there's a 30-minute version. So I do the 30-minute version. It's pretty intense because they put it all into 30 minutes, but then you're done, and you get sweaty, and there's cardio, and there's weights, and there's different routines, leg day, and there's some yoga and some Pilates, and there's a whole bunch of different stuff.
That sounds pretty holistic.
It's all right. It's good. I have noticed a little bit lately, like my body's, if you take a couple weeks off and you come back into it, it takes a bit of a ramp up because your body's like, whoa. And then as you get older, back tweaks. But that's mental health more than physical health for me. So I like doing that. If I don't do that, I'll try to go for a walk. If I don't, but I usually go for a walk in the middle. And that's kind of my morning routine. I don't eat in the morning, generally. Coffee guy. Get going with whatever I'm doing, whether I'm teaching or if we're working together. I just go with coffee and kind of have my first meal around 11:30, maybe noon, depending. What about you? I feel like you're leading. You have a good one that you want to share.
I don't. I was just thinking as I was using the restroom that it's becoming more like I'm kind of a quantify metrics guy. Like I'm one of those people that is motivated and influenced by numbers. So like I got an Apple, I've got my Apple Watch, and it told me one day, it's like, "Oh, you are showing the signs of hypertension." I'm like, "Ooh." So, as my doctor advised, like I got a blood pressure monitor. I do it twice in the morning and twice in the evening. I'm fine. I have non-elevated blood pressure, turns out. But it's spiraled into this cascade of James Clear-esque morning habit stacking that this morning I caught myself realizing how absurd it might look like to an outside observer, where it's like I wake up, I go pee, I go back to bed, I take my blood pressure twice, I wake up, I hang for exactly 1 minute from a bar, I go to the bathroom, I weigh myself, I drink a salt water and lemon, and then I go for a 30-minute walk, right? Like it's just ding, 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 right? And I realize, like, if I don't do that, the likelihood of me getting exercise in a given day is near zero. And then like twice a day in the middle of the day, I'll go to the gym and like do a lift or a workout or something. But I folded into all of this one of those, I'm wearing a continuous glucose monitor.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like I'm, constantly seeing like where my blood sugar is at, relative to how well they can monitor it based on that's not actually your blood sugar, etc. Because I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm pre-diabetic. I'm not just saying that. It's like some of my blood tests in the past, they were all pre-diabetic
until you get
and
it.
Now
you're pre.
Oh, and I track my sleep and kind of everything because I don't know if I'm one of those, again, I'm one of those people that's motivated by that. That helps me kind of, stay on track, whatever that means.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that I noticed in all of this is that sometimes I need a break from me. Like you know what I mean? Like this morning, I had just turn off the alarms and it's like, I can't, I don't want to wake up and do all the things, right? I need a vacation from myself.
I hear you. I'll add that to my routine. I try to wake up more or less at the same time every day. That's not always, but I set the alarm, more or less the same time. I left out, you mentioned water. So I drink a big thing of water in the morning. And then the exercise piles into that. So as I work out, and it's not 30 minutes for me because the guys on the video and the gals, they do it in 30 minutes because they're in their peak specimens, And
they're already in their clothes. They're changed.
It's about 45 minutes because there's a lot of breaks in between. Like, all right, let's go. I, pause the video and, let my heart come down to a little bit and drink a lot of water in the morning. That helps. Usually, do you weigh yourself? Are you on that?
I do every morning.
I do too. I'm fascinated by how you just lose weight overnight, and every morning you feel good about yourself because all the water weight's gone, and then by lunch you're like you gained it back.
Oh, don't weigh yourself past noon. That's just sadness in a number. You don't want to do that.
Not at all. I've never been a sleep tracker, not because I'm not interested, because I find it really uncomfortable to wear the watch while I'm sleeping. Mm-hmm. They need like an anklet.
They have like these bed mattress covers too, right? These like 8 sleep things that track your sleep and things if you care about such things.
I didn't know that.
It's not I need to know the number because I'm winning because I had a good night's sleep. It's more like this is where the glucose monitor comes in. Like I'm very curious about what things spike my blood sugar and then how quickly I recover from that spike, Like what are the high glycemic index foods that they're all talking about? For some people, they have a banana and they're going to turn into a popsicle. I have a banana, I'm fine. But you give me a bowl of oatmeal, look out. Like I'm ready to be shot up with some insulin. So just knowing that, and then also seeing like the effect of alcohol on your sleep before you go to bed, how late you eat versus how you feel in the morning, like all that kind of stuff means that I feel like I'm tweaking and optimizing as a 51-year-old might need to. And this, maybe I am leading towards something, is when I go to the gym or I do all these things, I'm training to be a 70-year-old. That's the idea. I'm not training to be younger or to be 51. I'm training to be 70. I'm getting ready to be like sharp and fit and flexible at that age.
I like it. I'm me too. I think there's nothing wrong with just doing a little bit of exercise and getting your diet in order. Now you're reminding me of my routine. I'm a very regimented eater.
Oh.
Breakfast and lunch, basically the same thing every day. Dinner is you never know what can happen kind of event.
It's a crapshoot.
But if I'm leaving the home office in the morning, I'm an oatmeal for breakfast kind of guy. So I get this oatmeal, yogurt, banana, frozen fruit, granola concoction. And that's my need to eat something before I leave the house, take off. I'm working from home generally, then I'll have my coffee, work the morning, and then I'll do eggs I'll toast a bagel, put the eggs on top, slice up some tomatoes, a little avocado. And the butcher down the road has these really nice curated meats like salamis and these kind of things, and just put that all together. And that ties me over for most of the afternoon. That's a good one.
You're not a faster, I'm guessing, or
not
an
on purpose.
intermittent eater.
No, I'm just not hungry naturally in the morning.
Right.
I don't do it on purpose. I'm just like, I'm not hungry. But I get hungry around 10:30, 11. And then depending on my day, if I'm home, then I'll make that. I also just don't like all those decisions. Where am I going to go what am I going to buy today for groceries? Like I like that. That's delicious. Works for me. And I just, makes it easy to decide what I'm buying. Same thing all the time. I also live in a neighborhood where I can walk 5 minutes and buy it all. So it's pretty easy.
I went to see a naturopathic doctor like 2 years ago. And I don't know why the face I made follows that, but that's what you say, I think, after you see a naturopathic doctor. And he, amongst the many other things that he'd suggested, was that, like, you need to increase your protein, right? This guy, man, he would have had me cramming animals into my mouth like 12 hours a day, just shoving down meat. And it's like, I tried. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm going to give this guy a shot. I'm going to eat those cooked vegetables and meat, like lots of meat.
It's heavy.
And I felt like shit all the time. Like I just felt heavy and crappy and everything. I'm like, dude, this is ridiculous. I don't understand how, like, now I'm realizing how individualistic all of these different health metrics truly are. Is that, one doctor finally said to me something that made total sense. It's like, well, you're not a curve. And all the recommendations we're making are based on just kind of generalized population, which is a curve. And,
right.
You're a person. You're not the curve. I'm like, oh, it's like, so you need to find individually what works for you. What is your protein intake that makes sense for you, that you're satiated and you're not losing muscle mass, et cetera, and all this stuff. And at the end of it, I kind of just want to just say fuck it all and just not, you kind of know at a certain point in your life with your metabolism and your experience, you kind of know when to wake up. You sort of know I shouldn't eat that. That's going to make me feel like crap. And I go for a walk or I exercise and I feel better. I sit on the couch and I binge Netflix for 5 days straight and I feel terrible. So like, I know that psychologically we can't trust ourselves to be our own guide. Like some people maybe need that kind of system or measurement or what have you. But I'm starting to get to a place where it's like, I think I kind of know what works for me. Can I just do that and then not worry about it anymore?
Some of my favorite posts online from like gurus or whatever are like the people who have the insane morning routines, wake up at 4:30 every morning and do the cold plunges and do all these things regimented. Like they're the same as the guy who wakes up at 8 o'clock. They're not getting ahead. They're not, you can still do whatever you want and be as successful as you want. And you can wake up whenever, it's, we don't need to sensationalize the 4:30 a.m. cold plunge, just do what works for you,
Right. And the other component is the overemphasis of the tracking and sticking to all of these things can stress you out to a level. It makes
you feel bad, right?
Yeah, you just feel shame and guilt and unhealthy. And then you're focused on that instead of focusing on like living your life. Arguably, like, I don't know, my dad is like super old. He does all the wrong things, and he's cooking.
Yeah.
He's cooking.
Yeah.
He's not hanging for a minute straight on a part when he gets out of bed,
No.
No.
If food was a pill, would you prefer that?
Do I get the GLP-1 effect of not craving food as well? Because the thing is, I like food. I like the way it tastes. I like cooking it. I like the way it smells. I like eating it. I like food.
Like if you could,
So if you can take the pill and it's like, I don't want food anymore and I don't have to eat food. Oh, that's a time saver.
that's what I mean. Like whatever for your anatomy, when you figured out your proteins, what's the right amount, meat, protein, oats, and it's like a subscription service, arrives at your door
Right. Yeah.
every 30 days.
Yeah.
And there's no cooking, there's no dishes, none of it. And it's in that pill. I guess there's like how the allergy pills, there's like a Dayquil and a NyQuil.
Sure.
You got your morning and you got your afternoon.
Your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
3 pills a day. I don't think I'd I don't think I'd do it. Like I would. Here's where I shouldn't say that. I would do it as a supplement. Like guaranteed, you've got everything optimally that you need for the day, right? And none of that, does it absorb well? And none of that crap. It absolutely, functionally, metabolically, everything you need. I would totally take that. So the few times that I did eat, I could just eat really fun things that I like because this is nice. I'm watching a movie and I want a bag of chips and a beer. I don't have to worry. It's like, I shouldn't be eating this because I should be eating broccoli. And it's like, I don't need to eat anything. I have all of the nutritional requirements met on a daily basis. That I would do.
I think I don't see how that's impossible. I think that's interesting. I would do it.
We're getting there.
I would do it. I would definitely do it. Just the amount of people so the HelloFresh and the Good Food and the meal prep services, it takes the decisions away, right? You're not sitting there on Sunday with your partner and thinking, what's on the grocery list this week? The chicken doesn't look good. What else are we going to do? It's just all of that stuff is gone. Add on, you got your nutrients that you need. You got your protein that you need. Everything's in there in this hypothetical. I think got a lot going for it. I'm with you. I like the consuming of food, like the smell, the aromas. Have to figure that part out, but I think there's a lot to the pill idea.
I like to cook though too. So I'm probably not I'm a good person, a good candidate for this as a supplemental thing, but on a day-to-day, because I also I don't have the office that I go to. I work from home, which means I cook all the time.
Right.
And I've grown to enjoy a lot of that. I'm also thinking a lot about those factor meals, where you just kind of they send you a box of delicious, healthy, fresh cooked food. Just because maybe I like to pretend that I'm busier than I am. And this feels like the thing that a busy person would do.
Right.
Are you busy?
Sometimes. Not right now, but sometimes I am. It really varies, to be honest. It comes and goes. Are you?
No.
Okay.
The older I get, the less I want to be busy with anything. Slow and light. That's my jam. Take my time.
It.
Just take your time. Do 1 or 2 things, kind of. And lots and lots of executive free time in between, lots of thinking and walking and breaks and reading and just stuff, that's where I'm at. I can't grind. I just can't.
Oh no. Oh God, no. No, I did that during COVID and I didn't care for it. The time called for it, didn't have another job and was like, okay, but was happy with what I was able to accomplish, but it's not a long-term strategy. It was just awful. No, the job I have now, maybe I'm a bad employee or whatever, but I'm very good at doing it in a limited amount of time and only the amount of time that they actually pay me to do it. I don't do anything outside of that. And I go for walks in the afternoon. I mean, the summer, in the winter, I tell myself in the winter, I'm going to go for walks too. But on those -20 days, I'm just like, you know what? I'm not doing that.
Those are my faves.
Really?
I got the right gear. Oh, I love it. The colder, the better. The colder, the better. Yeah. No, that's me. Even when I had I had an office downtown. I would take the train like a guy with a bag and get on the train and go to my office to work. And I would show up and drink coffee and sit down at my desk and go, here we go, I'm going to work. And I spent probably 80% of my office time going to the timeout market, strolling over to the church, maybe go to the library, go for a walk, sit on a park bench, watch some YouTube, answer some emails, pack my bag, get on the train, and go home. And I was
what a lot of office people do.
spending 20 grand a year doing that, And I'm like, I can just do that at home, but with food.
Right.
Yeah, and I can poop in my own toilet if I need to. So I'm like, to hell with that. And then I realized it's like, I went through this phase where for years I felt like I should be doing more, right? It's not, everyone seems to be so involved in whatever it is they do. But I've never been that way. And I decided one day, I'm going to stop feeling bad about that. I like having lots of free time. And then for an hour and a half in the afternoon, I will go to the library and I will something will happen that's really good, deeply focused, and then I'll just walk away and then I'll go cook a steak. And that's my day, or now I'm doing this thing where I'm grouping my meetings into 2 days, Tuesdays and Thursdays. I go to the gym and I take meetings. That's all I do. And it means that on the Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays, I can just do nothing or go, that project I've been thinking about getting on, I'm going to go down to the library and I'm going to work on that. But to sit at my desk and do work, the only thing I sit at my desk and do is take meetings and compose emails.
You're the human version of the European vacation.
What is that?
It's one of my favorite things, and I'm a little bit jealous. But we're in July right now. So if you email someone in Europe today, you will get an automatic email response, like everybody in the world when they're on vacation. But the Europe version is, I've gone on holiday for 11 weeks.
Right.
I'm deep in the German woods.
Right.
I might read this 3 months from now and get back to you. If it's really important, I suggest you email me again in 3 months. Which I respect a lot. If you need to talk to that person, it's annoying, but I really wow, we should adopt that. I love that.
There's a more severe version of it, I understand, in France, that it's federally legislated that the company's server cannot push the email to the employee while they're on vacation. They can't even see it. You can send it, but the response is, I am not even going to see this email, because my company and my government does not permit it. And that's it.
There's an awesome TED Talk. I think his name is Adam Alter, who describes this. And he gives 2 examples of, I believe they're in German companies. One is the automatic responder, which doesn't come from the person's inbox that you're sending it to. It comes from the organization and says, Corey is on vacation right now. He's away. This email will be automatically deleted in 30 seconds. He will never know it existed. If you'd like to send another email 4 weeks from now when he's back, feel free.
Right.
And the second one is, there's this company where in the office, all the desks are on poles, so at 6 p.m. or whatever, all the desks with the computers on them get lifted up to the roof of the office. So you cannot continue working after 5 p.m., 6 p.m.
What a strange creature we are that any of this has to be this way.
And then you have North American culture where it's I'm on vacation literally right now. Yep. I'm having dinner with my family and my kids. Give me 30 seconds. I'll call you back.
Right. Right. Or my favorite, I'm going to be on vacation, but I'll be checking email.
Right. Why?
But I think there's a culture in the US where you'll be replaced. Your feeling is, well, I will find somebody who will respond to email while they're on vacation. So how about that? I guess that's why the Europeans have to get so extreme about legislating it. But I think I'm getting to a place where I just, what happened to me? This happened to me years and years and years ago. I started the company, grinding, caring, doing all the right things that one does as an entrepreneur. And I got sick, like super sick for like 4 or 5 days, right in the middle of a bunch of projects, like just a flu or something. And I didn't respond to emails or Slack or messages or check on. I didn't do anything. I just was sick. And then I got well. And then I'm like, oh man, here we go. And I checked in and nothing happened. Nothing changed. Everything, nobody cared. Like, it's like, oh well.
Yeah.
And then we just carried on. And I'm like, wait a minute. I can just disappear for like days on end and nothing changes. So I've been experimenting over years with this. Like the last time I went away for 3 weeks and nothing happened. It was great. So I know everyone doesn't have that luxury, but there is, I think, a balance to be struck where you say, you know what? No one really cares that much. And if you do, maybe that's not what you should be doing.
Right. Nothing happens. I'm a big fan of that. That's the title of my book. Nothing happens.
That's a good title.
Not that nobody has responsibilities, but you're like, what's the worst? If you remove me for 3 days from whatever this is, what is the worst that could happen? And nothing really ever happens.
Right.
Remove me for a month unannounced. Okay, maybe. Yeah, sure. But maybe not also. I think you'd be surprised how other people just kind of keep doing their own thing and nothing happens.
The survival and evolution of the human species is loosely based on our ability to accomplish the most by putting the least amount of effort into it. That's a survival tactic. That is not laziness. That's how we're wired, right? And that we can find efficiency in work absence, I think is a plus, right? I've always been a task-based guy, not a time-based guy. It's like you work from Monday to Friday to what is that? Like that makes no sense. I think we've all realized that now, but I don't think we can still get ourselves out of that mindset. I still catch myself thinking, did I put in a good day today? Did I get a full day's work in? Oh, I should make up for it tomorrow. Until you get sick and then you realize nobody missed you and no one cares because it doesn't matter because nothing happened.
True. Especially this time of year when it's summer and it's beautiful outside in the afternoon. I find myself, usually I feel most productive in the morning, so I do that. And I go for walks and go to the park in the afternoon. And if the mood strikes, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the evening, and the mood's up, work at something if I want to. I'm not beholden by the time of day it is, and I really like spending, between 2 and 4 p.m. outside, going around and doing something, and then say, okay, well, after I watch Jeopardy, I can do that 30-minute thing that I didn't do at 2 o'clock and just do it now. And that works for me.
I have an ethics work question.
Oh.
Since we're on work.
Yeah.
Have you ever AI slopped on somebody? You ever slopped somebody?
Slopped somebody. Probably is my honest answer. I can't think of a time that I actually did it, but probably. I try not to use AI for things that I send to people. I really don't like people that write emails using AI and send me an email. It bugs me for some reason. I'm just like, I don't know, at least like edit it or something, like change it. Like it's clearly like I know you.
Right.
Like, why are you writing it like that?
Right.
Have you? I feel like you've slopped.
Twice.
Okay.
Twice. Yeah. Once was, and I was being sloppy about the slop. And then a second time I'd rather not talk about, but let me tell you, I am getting slopped on all over the place now by people, usually on Friday afternoon. And you know that you just got slopped on when it's like they're sending you like a 9-page SOP on Friday at 3 p.m., expecting you to A, read it, and then B, do something about it. And I have a new kind but polite reply before I do something, because I clear when I see the email and I see the attachment, I'm like, you didn't do this. I will kindly respond. It's like, I'm happy to take a look at this, but before I do you mind my asking, did you write this? And if not, did you read this? And you'd be surprised how few people write back at all, because they just got caught slopping on me. They didn't write it. If they did, they didn't read it, because if they had written it or read it, they wouldn't have sent it.
Right. I like that a lot. My version of that is, I don't know if it's more direct, or if someone sends me something that's like 9 pages, I'll just say, I don't have time to read that. Can you send me your 1-page version?
That's nice. That's nice.
I'm not reading that. Whatever, even what could be the most important thing in my life. I'm not reading 9 pages of whatever. Like, can you condense whatever you think is the most important into a 1-page? Maybe 2. Fine. Run back. And again, the response rate is basically 0. Nobody ever replies back to that.
I had a fresh one. I get these kind of emails now where they're clearly AI is just slopping back at me a bunch of their sloppy slop. And I'm now replying very kindly. Thank you for your email. I do not have time to respond to robots.
I like that.
That's it.
I like that.
That's it. If you want to write me an email, I would be happy to read it and respond. So this is all leading towards I'm thinking of charging clients something I call slop fees.
Oh. Go on.
It's like there's going to be in our agreements or proposals, you can choose, right? There's a line item that's slop fees. If you want to use AI to slop on our team and you take 2 seconds to create 9 hours of work, I'm going to charge you 9 hours of AI slop fees for all of the time that your robot made us work, right? This unthoughtful, spit it out, that looks good.
Love it.
That's fine. We're just going to charge you. Now, to be fair, we have a discounted rate, right? There is the human slop fee, and then there's the AI slop fee. So for half the price, I can get my AI to do the work for you and send you back some more slop. But either way, you're getting billed because I have to prompt that thing.
You know the Spider-Man meme where the 3 Spider-Mans are pointing at each other?
Yes. Yes.
There's a teaching meme related to what we should call slop fees, what you've mentioned. Because there's this question of if teachers are creating assignments using AI and the students are completing assignments using AI, and then the teachers are grading the assignments using AI, what's actually happening? Right?
I was riding with my partner the other day, and there was a news piece about a professor who is midterms. 81% of his students failed the midterms because they did the assignment using AI.
Right.
How did he find out? Well, in the forum where the assignment was posted, he wrote, incorporate the word Mississippi in a completely unusual way in this. And then he turned the text white. So you visibly, so that you couldn't see it as a person, but the AI sees it. And it's like anything that comes back that has random things about Mississippi. And it's like this you failed. This was done by AI.
Yeah.
And I was saying to my partner, it reminded me of when I was academic director. And I had to send out blast emails that were important, but I knew most people didn't read. And I used to put a secret word in the email in the middle of it. If you have read this email, the secret word is banana. Please reply with banana to know that you have read the email. And maybe 30% of the teachers would be, haha, banana, because they read it. And then I would just secondary email to all of these. And it's like, in the middle of that, I know you did not read the first email, so I'm sending you the second one. If you have read that second one, please reply with gorilla, right? And I would do that all the way until they all finally said the secret word. Because
Amazing.
It was like, you just know they're not reading this thing. You know they're not.
There was a great article I read last summer in the New Yorker about, I think it was called The Death of the Essay? ? And it was all about, the writer sat down with professors and students and together collectively discussed AI use, and the students all admitted that they use AI, and the professor was talking about how he, looked at that. And if all essays are going to be done with AI from students, what's the point? And how does that affect critical thought? And it was a really interesting, and the students admitted, of course, that, critical thinking and learning is still important, but being efficient is also important, not to waste so much time. So where does this lead us? And it was a really interesting thought piece, I thought, on how we assess and later how we qualify, because at the end of the day, you graduate from NYU or Columbia or any university. A company that's interested in hiring you believes in that certificate that you get from the university, if that's your qualification to work here. So how does that change that dynamic, if at all? How do we change assessing people, or do we change assessing people, or do we just incorporate AI into this maze because it's here, it's not going to go anywhere? So it was a very interesting article.
I mean, I don't think it's hyperbole to say that we're at a crossroads.
Right.
But I'm a bit of an anarchist. I'm like, look, we all got to eat and have a house and, doctors. But there's a point. Well, there's no but. Period. I think, though, it's high time that a lot of these systems kind of change to be something else, and that we stop doing a lot of busy work for, paper. It's kind of strange that we do a lot of the stuff that we do. And it's born of demand, that we demand to have all of these bizarre things that we do. But
sure,
I'm not on one of the, I've noticed lately, there's two polar extremes to the AI perspective, at least those that are vocal about it. There's the pure anti-AI, like Skynet, the world's coming to an end. And then the pure AI, cancer is going to be cured on Thursday, with very little nuance or anything in between the two. But on the one extreme of it, something that does concern me is, I wonder if there is any validity that we're heading towards a post-literate society.
Off air, if we call this on air, I told you a YouTube channel that I like called ASAP Science, which is two Canadian dudes, scientists. And a recent video that they released caught my attention, and I watched it, and it was called, "Is Gen Z Dumber?" And evidently, yes, is the answer. Now, they go through, and there's a lot of nuance, and the reason I like the channel is they present the science and the evidence behind the question that they're asking. And obviously, how you measure intelligence depends on how you're answering this question. And the answer to this is not shocking. They are actually better and more literate in visual mediums, right? And they are much less literate and quote unquote intelligent in long form, in reading, in dissecting information, in critical thinking that comes from reading something. They're very good at critical thinking, applying it from something that they've watched video based, but their attention and their ability to focus is significantly lower than previous generations. I don't think that's surprising, but it was interesting to see the data on how they measure it.
And if that's a thing that's worthy of the measurement in the first place,
right?
Okay, take a guy from a 20-year-old from 1950 and plop him into 2026. This yokel's an idiot, right? This guy's not going to do well in life, period. So if the metric is his ability to read and retain and synthesize information, perhaps, but the world's changing, right? And I think we're on the cusp of, and maybe this is another day and another conversation, but I think we're at the tail end of the boomer reign, right? I don't want to be there. You guys ruined the world, but they did. You guys are still ruining the world, but they are. And I don't want to be the guy that's like, this is finally the time where we get to actually take over from the idiots that have kind of screwed everything up.
Reading's a pill.
Exactly.
Would your partner drink that drink?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is something that my partner and I have been discussing recently. The boy version of stuff and the girl version of stuff. And Maya's premise, you know the Aperol Spritz? You familiar with the Spritz?
I do. Yep.
If you do a visual survey of the people drinking the Spritzes, probably notice skews female.
Sure.
I think the Negroni is the male Aperol Spritz.
Okay. Can I say something to that?
Mm-hmm.
Because, first of all, I'm a girl drunk every day. Right. I'm good with that. I noticed that you were having a Negroni.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh. And my first, to be honest, visceral, where it came from, who cares, reaction is, he's having a little girl drink. What is that? Why am I even thinking that? 2026. What is that?
Because it's not great. It's an acquired taste, certainly. Have you had a Negroni?
Mm-hmm.
It's an acquired.
I've had a Negroni.
Uh-huh. You didn't care for it.
Did not.
Old fashioned, very similar. I think that's.
Oh, I can drink an old fashioned every day of the week.
You like that more than a Negroni?
Have you ever had a Pimm's?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
A long time ago.
It's like dirt in a bottle.
The other one we were discussing is because I said we're doing the show again, and my hypothesis is always when two men or two straight men miss each other, they don't say "I miss you." They say, "Let's start a podcast."
Let's start a podcast. No, you're dead on.
And the female version of that is the Instagram posts of proving that they went out somewhere the night out. Here are the pictures of.
Oh my God, that's so funny. That is true.
And we're going to record this and we're going to put it on the internet. Here's our proof. We're hanging out. We're doing it.
That is the girl version of two dudes just not having a phone conversation. Because really, that's what we should do. Right. We should pick up the phone and just talk to each other. But why? I'm not.
Long distance, and I don't know.
It's long distance. That's the issue. That's the big issue. I do hate saying, because there's nothing I loathe more. Well, there's some things I loathe more, but there's one thing I really loathe is when podcasters talk about their podcast. It's kind of the worst. But I do want to say to whomever is weirdly listening to this, that there was, I checked I was going to cancel the account this was the point. Every month I get a little bill for my little podcast hosting. I'm like, you know what? What is this thing anymore? So I logged in. There's like 6,000 plus downloads of the show, which is weird. Like 300-400 like per episode.
That's crazy.
I have clients that pay a lot of money that don't get numbers like we're getting doing this. So I'm like, I don't know. Why don't we keep doing it?
Let's keep doing it. Okay. I'm in. I'll get a girl drink next time. I get a spritz.
I'm going to get a boy drink.
I don't like Aperol, I've learned. But a Hugo spritz, I can do.
Dude. I like bubbly drinks. I like fruity drinks. I like straws. I like pieces of fruit in them. I like maraschino cherries.
You know what I do too? Let's just say that. Usually when we go out to a patio or a bar, like a fancier bar, and you get that drink menu cocktails, you know, there's no pictures of the cocktails on the menu. And almost always the one that I order that just sounds good to me. It's got a little umbrella in it. Almost always. Or it's got a swirly straw or like a half a pineapple or something, you know.
You know what I'm doing? I'm having fun. That's what I'm doing. I'm just having fun.
Is this what it feels like when you get to a certain, I mean, you know, I'm a little younger than you. This is what it feels like when you get to a certain age and you just stop caring about all that stuff and you just enjoy what you enjoy. Is this what's happening?
There is. You've gone over the edge. You know, because there's the thing where it's like, I remember when I was in my late 30s, early 40s, and people were kind of saying, it's like, that guy doesn't give a fuck. You know, and you're there. You're thinking, I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm having a good time. Right. This is fun. I'm not hurting anybody. You're annoyed. Too bad for you.
Not trying to impress anybody. I like this.
It's a good way to be.
Give me a blue drink with an umbrella and I'll be a happy guy. Swirly straw, and here we go.
Because I think there was another point where it's like all the things that I thought might happen if I did the things that I wanted to do, you realize aren't going to happen. Like most of the things that you do are completely inconsequential, disinteresting to everyone around you. And if you do them with piss and vinegar and vigor, people are actually going to respect you for it. They're like, that guy does his own thing. That's pretty cool.
Maybe we'll have maybe that's the name of the show. Girl Drinks.
Girl Drinks. I could say this. I could see this. I could see, not to turn this into a drinking show, but I could see us showing up next episode with a girl drink.
I can see that.
Okay.
You like a Paloma?
I don't know what that is.
I was hoping you do because I don't know how to explain it. It's just really delicious. Okay. Look it up before we do the next show. Maybe we do Palomas.
All right. That sounds fun. Okay. All right. I think keep it at a tight 45. Let people live their lives.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Big time. Where are you? You're weird. I dig this. You? Thanks.
Now on the offense.